Gaza is falling apart and it feels like the world is just watching. How can millions of people be left without food, water, or medicine for months? Why are kids dying of hunger and hospitals running without power while trucks full of aid are blocked? This isn't just a tragedy, it looks like it's being allowed to happen. There is something very serious going on in Gaza and it's being buried under other headlines. More than 52,000 people are dead. At least 118,000 are injured, and about 2.2 million people are packed into a narrow strip of land for 19 months. They've been cut off from nearly everything. For the past 11 weeks, not even one aid truck is entered. Around 470,000 people, 22% of everyone there, are at risk of starving. Food, water, and medicine are almost impossible to find. Electricity is down by 90%, which means most places are dark. Without power, water plants have stopped working. Dirty water is flooding the streets, diseases are spreading, kids are getting sick. Food is nearly gone, every single person is struggling to eat. 54% are in emergency level hunger. 22% are in the worst stage. In March 2025, 3,700 kids were treated for extreme malnutrition. Just the month before it, it was 2,000. No food parcels, no nutrition supplies, most are eating just one small meal a day. Some children, barely old enough for school, are walking long distances to fetch water or collect firewood. Shelter is almost as bad. About 1.7 million people, 3/4 of the population, don't have homes anymore, and some have had to move again and again. Heavy rains have soaked the camps, cold weather makes it worse, and in some shelters, 100 people share a single toilet. Many are living in tents made from anything they can find: plastic, wood, old cloth. There are no heaters, no warm clothes. Around 175,000 buildings, including schools and hospitals, have been damaged. That's created 53 million tons of rubble, and that much debris could fill 20,000 Olympic swimming pools, and it's still piling up. What's happening with healthcare in Gaza right now is something that's hard to even wrap your head around. Hospitals aren't places of safety anymore, they've turned into chaos zones. Many buildings that used to treat people are now either gone or barely standing. Inside the few hospitals that are still operating, there is no space left. Patients are lying on the floors, hallways are jammed, and the pain is everywhere. One hospital in Gaza City has 200 people packed into a place that only has room for 40. There is no electricity for machines, no oxygen for critical cares, and almost no medicine. Doctors are trying to save lives with nothing, and in some places, they're relying on volunteers to help out because there just aren't enough trained staff anymore. One man died just being moved between facilities. He didn't even make it to treatment. There are people trying to help. Around 1,600 workers and volunteers from one major organization are out there offering first aid and mental health support. But it's not enough. Medicine, vaccines, and even basic tools aren't getting through the blockade. Over a third of vital supplies are completely gone. Hundreds of people need to be taken out of Gaza for serious treatment, but the only way out is often closed. Some newborn babies need incubators to stay alive, while others depend on machines just to breathe. Without power, those machines shut down and lives are at risk every minute. Now, here's where things start to raise questions. Supplies haven't entered Gaza since March 2nd, 2025. That's been more than 11 weeks with no food, fuel, or medicine coming in. It's the longest and tightest blockade in recent history, worse than even what happened in late 2023. Some people say it looks like too organized to be a mistake. There are rules in place around the world meant to protect people in crisis, but those rules are being ignored. There is also a new aid program that was announced not long ago. It's backed by people in powerful places and aims to feed 1.2 million people. On the surface, it sounds helpful, but many groups that have been working in Gaza for years say something feels off. They're calling it a distraction, saying it cuts out the local communities who know where help is needed most. The plan only covers part of Gaza and leaves the rest behind. Even stranger, it's tied to the same military that's been controlling the area. You'd think things would get better with a ceasefire, but even that turned out to be short-lived. On January 15, 2025, there was an agreement that brought a bit of hope. Hostages were exchanged, some detainees released, and 8 trucks started to roll in. Around 630 trucks made it through, with 300 heading into northern Gaza, offering a bit of relief where it was desperately needed. But the pause didn't last. By March 18, everything fell apart again. The siege returned even hotter than before, more people were forced from their homes and buildings meant to shelter and help. Schools, homes, and clinics were torn apart. Now, 81% of Gaza is either under military control or flagged for evacuation, leaving families stuck in smaller and smaller areas with no idea where they can go next. Calls for another ceasefire haven't stopped, not just for aid, but to stop the endless damage. The main entry points are still not working properly, Rafah is locked, Kerem Shalom barely lets anything through. Sometimes, just 5 trucks come in for 2 million people. That's the level of aid they're working with. 5 trucks! When what's actually needed every day is 500. It's not enough to survive, not even close. And behind those numbers are the people. Thousands of children aren't just missing school, they're out fetching water or gathering sticks to make fires. At least 14,500 children have died. 17,000 kids are now separated from their parents or completely alone. One teenage gymnast named Ahmed lost both his legs, but still talks about competing one day. Another, a girl named Ward, survived a blast that hit a school where her family had taken shelter. She made it. Her mother and 2 siblings didn't. These aren't isolated moments, they're everyday stories now. Even people trying to document what's going on are being pulled into it. A journalist named Sammy lost his leg, but he's still out there taking photos, showing the world what's happening through his lens. But it's becoming harder to do even that. UNRWA, the main aid group supporting Gaza's population, has been shut out. Its foreign staff aren't allowed in, laws passed last year pushed them out completely. This is the same group that's been running schools, feeding people and handling medical care for 2 million people. And now, they're running out of money too. Their funding was cut by several countries earlier this year, and they warned they might have to shut their doors by February. There is also growing pressure from rights groups asking for a stop to weapon sales and a proper investigation into what's been happening. Even some voices in the US government have stepped in, pointing out that blocking aid might actually go against US law. Still, not much has changed. A temporary pier was built to bring in supplies, but it broke and did little to solve the real issue. Why are trusted aid organizations being replaced with new, less tested groups? Why is food and medicine still stuck at the border? Why does it feel like Gaza is being used in a larger game? Let us know about your views in the comment section below, and for more such amazing videos, do subscribe to our channel.